What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 12, picking up from Bonny Village. So before we get started this episode, I would like to give a brief warning. This episode, we will be breaking Mikola's Great Rune, which is going to happen right here. In fact, there's an invisible line that just pretty much runs right here. So right in front of Shadow Keep, it'll break. Right after this bridge, it will break. Like I said, invisible line. Now, any quest line you've not progressed up to this point is going to be auto-progressed. You're going to miss out on weapons. There's a great shield, really good armor set. So obviously, going through the walkthrough, we've done everything and we are set up. But if you're tuned in late, you do want to be cautious for that. Now, on Bonny Village itself, over here in the top right, you're going to see a little cluster of trees. So we're going to be going over here for a gesture that is exceedingly important. Without this gesture, you will not be able to access the secret area within the DLC. Now, as soon as we have that, we're really just going to go straight on down, clear this camp, and then shoot straight up this ravine for an upgrade. Then we'll just fast travel out, go out this way and clearing that last bit of the village as you go through. So I would advise putting a number one marker so you know where your gesture is. Aside from that, everything's pretty straightforward, if we're being honest. So this place that we're in now has some huge lore implications. We've learned in the DLC that America is the one that burned the erdtree. She's the one that attacked the tower folk, and she did this because her people are the ones that they've referred to as the shamans. Now, America's people are from Bonny Village, so the most important item in the DLC right there, Oh Mother, like I said, this lets you into a secret area, but what's funny is besides that, there's just a bunch of nonsense here. You get like 2 hefty crack pots and a weapon that's halfway decent, but they are hiding one of the most important items around nothing, besides a bunch of bullshit. So that was kind of creative, definitely worth the mention. So if you are going through enjoying the lore and all that, Bonny Village is one of the really important places. Now there's going to be 3 of these little invaders. Not really invaders, but they're kin to invaders. They have a name tag. It's kind of rare for animals, right? But that's going to be your first. There's going to be 2 on this side, 1 on the other. And do not underestimate these guys. Their damage output is actually pretty immense. If they smack you like 2 times, which they can do very quick attacks, it's like half your health's gone. So they're throwing rocks at you and all that. It will add up quickly. In fact, I'd probably just summon going through here. Let your mimic or whoever help you clear these places out. Alright, there's number 2. Ooh, that charge took way too long. Get that heal off real quick. You gotta sharpen your blade, dumbass. Thank you. Yep, not missing that second time. Alright, so like I said, really the first area you really do is clearing up a bunch of riffraff. The only real item is your crack pot, which you've already picked up. If you guys don't even want to fight the guys, you don't have to worry about it. Thank you. We'll have a dog right here in your last hut on the left. Make sure to get him, because when we get down to the ravine, there's like, I think 4 dogs, and they will, really stack on you. So like I said, once you got all that, you're just going to go down to the ravine. We'll have a dog right here, pretty big one. Pretty big one. So we'll take him. Then all the way down is going to be a revered spirit ash. So you could probably honestly just stick on torrent and run up really quickly, but we're going to go and clear. We're already here. And there's there are some other items as well. And the only thing left should be a white flesh mushroom and a dog. Oh no, is it red flesh? Red flesh, that's my fault. Yep. Alright guys, so now that we've seen this all the way down, that was our first little loop. So what I like to do from here is just hop on out. You either try to make it across that big ass gap and backtrack, which, by now you probably need to refresh a few of your resources, I'm sure. There's, quite a bit of guys over there. Alright, so before we go any further, just to kind of go over a few things with you guys. You're in this, there's 2 bridges. You have this one, and then you have this one. Well, this is the main one that's going to lead you to the rest of the outskirts on up to the Shadow Keep. So you can consider this your main path, even though all this is optional. Then over here, this is just going to lead you to a dead end with your third and final jail. So as I said from the start, 3 catacombs, you're going to have 3 forges and 3 jails, this being the third. So if you're tuned in late, we'll leave the marker. If you're tuned in late, your first jail was obviously under your legacy dungeon. The second one was in Charles Hidden Grave, which some people might do this, at a later point. And then your third is Bonny's jail, which we're, going to be heading towards now. So as you go out, you could probably just stick on torrent, grab the items, and shoot on up. You don't have to kill everybody here. I just don't want it to feel rushed, so we'll kill whoever's in our way. Aside from that, we're just gonna get our stuff and go. Now these guys can stack up on you, so that's something to keep in mind. Try to remember. And then you have one last potentate. Let's see if we get a free old backstab on the bastard. God damn. I told you to stack it up, didn't I? I was not playing with you guys about that. I meant that wholeheartedly. Like, these bums will put you down. And it's not going to take much for them to do it. And that was really just one catch me off guard while I was trying to let it figure. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. So yeah, just try to hold up the shield, guard counter, just do whatever you got to do. I mean, AoE works beautifully because there's so many of them sometimes. Alright. Now, the only other thing to get, you have your kookaries. Over here is going to be your Bonny's butchering knife. So it's similar to the butchering knife from the main game. It looks identical. The one in the main game was holy and strength. This is quality, so you're going to get strength and dex scaling on this one. Now, I don't know if it's somber or regular. It's not something I was particularly interested in because you already have all the most powerful weapons in the main game. I mean, Bonny's butchering blades is not something, that's going to stand out to me. You guys have to look into that yourself, but, if it's somber, you're stuck with the ash. If not, you can change the affinity up. I will tell you, the regular one had amazing scaling. So that being quality without things, it's probably gonna get better because physical stats get more points of damage and scaling than elemental. Like if you pay attention, you had with the blasphemous blade, you notice there had like B scaling and faith, but C in strength. Yet 60 faith gets you like 140 points in scaling, and then 60 strength would get you like 200 and stuff. Like it's a big difference, it's a really big difference in physical that way. So I think it, it might be something pretty decent. So at this point, how many crackpots we get up to? Oh, look at that, 6. That's gonna make your burner golem so much easier from this point forward. Takes 5 pots to kill him. Last time we fought one, we had to craft 3, run away, de-aggro, craft another 3, and go back. So that's going to be nice. Now going through here is going to be a few scorpions that you fought in the Belrat Tower settlement. But there's no items to get, so you guys can fight them if you want. There's no actual need to. Now this is going to be your third and last jail. Very, very similar to the second one. It can be a bit confusing. There are going to be secrets and hidden paths and, a lot of stuff going on. Now I like this one because you get a really dope armor set. I think it's like almost tight, too small, makes your character look super skinny. But it's the Black Knight set. It's awesome. It's a really dark, evil looking set. And then on top of that, you have a shield that does something I've always wished FromSoft would do, and that's put like special abilities on shields, and it's very much that, which we'll show it off when we get to it. But it's a shield that lets you get off a active ward. So pretty much you can shoot off black magic, which you haven't seen black magic yet. But what I love about black magic is instead of scaling with intelligence, it only requires dex, but you get like this black magic projectile that fires off the shield. However, if you use it after a guard counter, it does crazy damage, and it's really cool. It's just a really unique idea, because I always said that, like I felt like the idea is, let's say you can put like frostbite and stuff on your sword. Well, if you're parrying an enemy with frostbite or your shield, I feel like that parry should build up frostbite, that parry should build up bleed, but those statuses only work with like shield bash, and I always felt like a missed opportunity. So I thought that was pretty neat that we actually got to see something play out that's different. So we'll definitely be showing that off. But either way, to get back on track, it's a really neat item, so I just want to talk about it. When you first go in, obviously you're just gonna have to turn around right here behind you, clear this room. However, before you progress down the main path, you gotta look next to you. There's not much here, but we do get another crackpot. So what you're gonna do is just use those jars, drop on down. It's gonna be 2 doors. It's gonna be one right here. You gotta jump out, just stand back, and really just crafting. However, if you run out to the left, there's going to be another jump out. Really big guy. Just hold up your shield. He always does this jump attack. Also, these guys are so high level now that you've made it to the Skidoo Altus. When they do that attack that like explodes and sends chunks of herself all over you, what's gonna happen is potentially one shot you now. So we blocked that one, but it goes, oh yeah, that's what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't doing that before. So be very cautious. Shield holds up just fine, guys. Shield holds up just fine. But if you have it down, you see what's gonna happen. So either way, now that we got that, we're going to go back to the switch right here. And that's going to give us a ride back up. So now we know everything up to this point is done. We can keep on trucking. So as mentioned, it's just like before. There's going to be, a lot of hidden paths, a lot of optional paths. And it can be a little confusing, I guess. It's your first time. It's like right here. You're going to see a hole in this wall. So we're going to use that, but we have to do a loop to an optional area, and it'll just kind of lead you back here. So there's no way up that way just yet. But that, it's just another place you got to find within this jail. Now there's going to be another jump out ahead. There's going to be 3 guys, and they're probably going to lead with the grab attack. It looks like a push, but it's actually a grab, so do not get hit by that. It'll do much more damage than you might even realize. Get your bolts, pop your door. No key necessary for this one. And then right here, yep, I forgot it was a grab, not a push. Their grabs come out like pushes, so I keep wanting to hold up the shield, but it does me no good. Even though I just warned you guys of it, still have it, I have. But still end up doing it. Either way, to progress, you're going to have this course right here. So you're going to drop down. You can either go to the northwest or the east. So what we want to do first is go to the east. This is going to be an optional area to get you a talisman. Now, that hole in the wall, that's what it's going to do. It's going to bring us full circle up there. So we'll have to, take that route and drop back down again. But it does let you reach everything. Thank you. Where you going, bub? Thank you. Alright, so you see item back there, but to get to it, you have to go right through here. It's really easy to walk past that, too. Nothing too substantial, but 4 2s adds up. Then this is going to take you back up to that room I was referencing. So you have 1 pot, hold up your shield. Shield. Thank you. The attack does do a lot of damage, but it's just such an easy guard counter to get off. So Stalwart Charm +2, and that's going to be your last one. I told you there was upgraded versions of every single defensive talisman in the DLC. So that's your 3rd and last. And we'll cover these two to make sure no one, briefly, very briefly, make sure no one lost any. Base game, you got immunizing and immunizing +1. So you see that we got the +2 version, Stalwart +2, and now clarifying +2. So you're good for everything, every status you're going to run into. One's blood and frostbite, one's rotten poison, and then the other is sleep and madness, I do believe. So now that we've cleared the east path, if you look, it's kind of northwest more than anything else, but it's the only other way to go. So there's that. Now there's going to be all these blobs here. How do you bounce up off the ground? That's not a thing. They drop on your head. They don't bounce up off the fucking ground. So look what he just did. About 60%. Almost dead on. 60% go. Get me out of here. They hate fire. They hate blood loss. That's the easiest way to do it. Not that you have to take every single one out, but they're quite good at actually blocking your path. So now you're going to see a path back there to the left, and that looks like it'd be the side path, but this is, yeah, I get it, I fucked up, I get it, yep, still get it, time to let go. Yeah, so going straight is actually the optional path, while going to the side your main. Now, there's going to be more here. sometimes you can just run through very quickly. And they won't get to you. It just depends how everything lines up. So as soon as you go down, we're going to turn around, just kind of dodge to the left like that, or to the right. Either one will work. Now we're going to get to a sewer section, just like the second jail had. This is actually very, very familiar because it's almost the same layout and everything. Just doesn't have that big pile of corpses in the middle of the room. But it's pretty much the same shit. We're just going to go through, grab a few items, kill a couple guys, and move on. Now that item up there, you can't get to. Very hidden passage there, which I will show you. But, you know, right now we can't do nothing about it. There will be a few things you see here that you just can't get yet. But, you grab that. There's like a lot of boss here. We're going to be completely out of resources by the time we get to the end of this. And this boss here is a pain. You guys remember the curse blades? It's a curse blade that can turn the whole room into darkness, and he's an invisible curse blade, so you have to deal with that super annoying and aggressive moveset while you can't see him the whole time. That is good fun. We're going to want our health. There is a sake of America, so when we undoubtedly get killed, make it all the way, you know, we'll be able to just go right back in. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, you see him coming. Come on, Dodge. What the fuck are you doing? Alright. That should about clear us up. As mentioned, you're going to see other items that you just can't reach. So that actually backtracked us. You got turned around. You'll see other items that you can't reach, but that's just it. You can't reach them, so you're not missing anything. And just, you know, double back, make sure you're not missing any drops. These guys do drop crafting stuff. Pretty rare crafting stuff, all in all. But we're good. So now we're going to go on out. So when we get down here... Oh, he's up a little bit. There is one here. That's what I thought. He just happened to be up high. Appreciate you. Oh, jumped right into it. Alright. So you're going to have one guy there, but as you get towards the end... Yeah, we're gonna back way up. Stop with the push, dude. They'll spam that push and you'll just be stuck in place for 20 fucking minutes. It's very, very racist, you know what I mean? Hey, dumbass. Thank you. Either way, when he jumps out, you can go back into that jar he came from and get some crafting. Well, consumable, rather. Raw meat dumpling. It's a heal over time that poisons you. It's in the base game for anyone that, you know, is unfamiliar. Now, right here, have this D-bag. Always use your shield. That's a lesson I keep learning over and over. Apparently. But yeah, just use your shield. It's going to help with the push, the explosion, you name it. It helps with all of it. Now, we're going to go on down to the left. Pick that up. There's going to be a guy running out of this left cell at the end. Leading with the grab. So I don't remember that time. Crafting, you guys on the ledge. Thank you. Alright, so now we got that. We're actually getting towards the end. Yeah, always run in this room. You know, didn't notice what I was doing there. Always run in. Put you past the point where he can grab you. Then what's crazy too is another reason why it's confusing, because this looks identical to the room we came in at. Remember, we came in, there was a table on the left. Then there was the three guys that jumped out of that corner. The room is, I mean, it's immaculate. It's identical in every which way. So you're like, did I fuck up? Did I miss something? And then you see that jar. So it's very similar, but it's different too. But either way, if you were to take this, it's going to take you down to the boss. There's a few guys left, but essentially that's where the boss is, right down those stairs up ahead. Don't get off. Stay on it. So, embarrassingly enough, I did miss this my first time. It's not that embarrassing. I mean, it's kind of creative. It's right there in your face, but it's not. But either way, once you ride this up, you get some pretty unique stuff. So one is going to be a hidden armor set right here. It's your Black Knight set. Helm of your Knight set, I guess you can call it. So I did mention that there's an introduction of a new status in this game. It just says magic, but it looks like black magic. That's what it is. But what I like about it is you don't need any intelligence. It's all hooked to dex. So like you do just a straight up dex build and have access to some black magic elemental statuses that do a lot of damage. So one of the weapons will be right here. It's a shield. Then we'll get a set of claws that do it, and a katana that all do this black magic. And it's super super potent. Like I said, you don't need any intelligence, so it's really nice. Then the shield's right here. We're going to show this off. Keep in mind it's not upgraded. Shield of Knight. So it looks like a mirror. Looks super cool. But like I said, it's very unique in the way that it actually could fire off projectiles. Now because of weight, we should be able to pull this off, even with this set. Yep. So I got my main shield, which is more for blocking. This is more for guard counters, because that's how it's going to work best. But pretty much anytime I hit the Astral War button, I can throw out like, black magic projectiles. It looks cool too, almost looks wet and shiny, Can't really see it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it looks cool, it's just very, very different. And then if you do this after a guard counter, that's where you get damage. That's where you're gonna get damage. Shit. Oh, we got so lucky there, got so lucky. If you ride that side of that chain down, you're not gonna get killed. It'll throw you right off typically. So we can show this a bit. Just like I said, it's not upgraded. Start working down a bit. See that? So that's how you work it. It usually does really good for breaking stagger, but unupgraded, you know what I mean? You're not going to get the full effect of it. But yeah, that's it. And then you can still use it fully upgrades better, of course. But you can still use it as just a secondary damage type. So like for a physical build, just go pure dex. It's nice because you could actually take weaker enemies out with a couple shots. So, from range, attack, somewhat. Too far back, but too far back enough to still make it helpful. Need you to die now, bud. Need you to die. Alright, so we're pretty much just going to run this boss fight and get killed, guys. We have no more resources. It took every bit of everything we had. And then after that, we'll go and tell you how to put them down. And the main gist of it is use your summon. If an enemy's ever invincible, like the Black Knives or the Curse Blade here, your summon always knows where he is, even if you don't. You also have your torch you got from the main game. Your Sentry Torch, which can also help if you have the base. Then you're going to notice his damage is just absolutely absurd. So all we're trying to do, and we'll use this flash too because it does have stone bark, but we're going in, we're going to summon immediately, heal immediately, damage up is crazy. Perfume bottles works good because the heavy attack does a 360 spin, right? Like I said, Mimic is pretty good with it. Yeah, you see our damage is pretty high too. It's not really that hard. I mean, that was a sloppy attempt. I didn't care. I just took the damage and hit him a couple times. And, he goes down pretty easy. What's really dope about that, though, guys, is you actually get a Curse Blade as a summon. And you guys know how annoying he is for you. So now he could be very annoying for someone else. And it's not just one that's super good at distraction. He's also going to be super good at damage, So you're getting best of both worlds there. Really like that a lot. What we said, we're just going to stick in health for a bit. Yeah, I like my stats right there. Dex at 60. Faith at 60. When I get other spells I care for more, I might take the, those 8 levels out of Arcane, which I could do that now, but I didn't want to use those spells. And go 60, have that done. Now I just need 5 levels here. Because I'd like to have that Dex at 70 and Faith at 60. Now, 60 Faith isn't just for scaling. There's actually a few things, few spells that you're going to get in the DLC. They're just really powerful. So if you guys remember the Stars of Ruin from the base game, for mage builds where it just rained projectiles from a cloud, we get that for Faith. It does fire. Super, super good. But it's got a very high requirement. So while we're here, stuff 6, 28, 6, 12, 11, 15, 10. So that's at least 6 more somber weapons, which is really cool. I guess I'll go ahead and max this out. Why not? Usually I'm just bringing shit up to +9. But the fact of it is, I like it. It's something I could, use and really hold on to. So we'll keep it where it is. Either way, guys, going on back to Bonny Village. Now that all this is wrapped up and full, we're gonna be taking our main path out. So as soon as you cross this, right here, you have a little hut. We'll grab a weapon, a little bit of lore. Then we're gonna go across here, just kind of swing wide, take out some wolves, grab a scarab, invisible scarab. Then we're just gonna work our way up the main path, and eventually you're gonna see a really big golem. So when you see the furnace golem, what's going to happen is we're going to go up top and deal with them the same way we did before. So make sure you have all those pots crafted. Like, we already done this, right? So I got 6, that's plenty, but make sure you have them. Because if he's aggro, you will not be able to, craft, right? So keep it in mind. Horrible jump. Horrible jump. Now, another friendly reminder, if you have not caught up your quest lines, you probably don't want to do what we're about to do. Or you will be kind of screwed out of things. You know what, since it's a walkthrough, we should play it safe, I feel like, right? It'll only take us a second. We'll go and grab our whip real quick. So right here's a poison whip. It's the tooth whip, so you think it would do like blood loss, but no, it's actually poison, which makes sense too. But it does have a little bit of lore involved. So it's just talking about the whip has teeth, each victim with deadly poison upon each strike, blah blah blah. But as the wounds ripen, they grow inflamed and ooze pus. The flesh of shamans was said to meld harmoniously with others. So shamans were America's people. So pretty much this is where America's people were from. And this is where she lived, so that gesture we picked up at Bonny Village is going to let you into the hinterlands, which is a a hidden area. You cannot reach it unless you use a certain gesture at a certain location. So it's just huge story implications. Now before we do this, just to make sure we're being careful, everyone is caught up. What you're going to do is just in order. We'll jump back to main gate cross. We're just going to do an NPC rush. I know we're caught up on everything. I know for a fact, but it's better to be safe because if you guys miss anything anywhere, this is how you would know. You would definitely know. So you had to have gotten the black syrup for Tolier for more. If you did not do this, that's fucked up, right? So you want to make sure you do that in time. If he's just saying Righteous Tarnish, you've already cleared all his dialogue options, so you're good there. Freya actually never says anything else into Shadowkeep. She'll just give you a repeat of what she's already done. So that one's, pretty straightforward.
In battle.
I'll be sure to hold my own. Then Horse Scent, move on from this spot. So we've already progressed that. Going over here to Tolier. His dialogue doesn't change until the end of Cerulean Coast. And that's when we get into his quest line, St. Trina's quest line, so these are related. So he should just be repeating himself. That's if you got Teolier's concoction, right? Nothing else to do. So like I said, we're caught up on all this, but it's just double checking. Dragon Lady. So, Grand Altar of Dragon Communion. I didn't show you guys the new dragon spell here. It's very heavy requirement in Arcane, as most of them are, but I mean very heavy, like 50 something. So if you go over here, examine altar, this is technically the boss remembrance for Bale. Bale's this huge, you could definitely tell it's really, big main story boss, but it's technically side content, so you don't get a boss remembrance from him. But if you go to commune with Bale with his heart, that's going to act as a boss remembrance, so you can choose one of the two. This is big on Arcane, so is this, but they're just different. Channels Dread Dragon to roar with a Heat Wave Blast. Channels Dread Dragon to strike with Flame Lightning infused with Talon Bone. So you get 2 choices, but that's it. He only has 1 heart, right? So that acts as his boss remembrance. But you do get the Ghost Flame Dragon Breath here, because that's what's in the DLC. Now we're going to get into her quest, but we have to get a painting from Shadow Keep. And I said that, you know, we had to wait for the Great Rune to break until we knocked out Cerulean Coast. So we did Charlotte's Hidden Grave. The Finger Ruins are related to a quest line that actually starts right here where we're going. So we put that off, and I said, you know, Jagged Peak we're putting off because the level is so high. That is true, but also the other reason we're putting it off is there's a painting we have to solve, and we don't get the painting until Shadow Keep. So it just makes sense to wait to go there. Either way, guys, once we talk to her, yeah, it's just Letta and Hornset. So going up, you could always get the buff, which is the second one we got. So it's kind of like Fia's in the main game. Even kind of looks the same. And just make sure her dialogue is exhausted. And when we take Vale out, we'll do her quest. It's still going to be a bit, guys. Although we are definitely in the back half of the DLC, it just takes a while. So once that's all caught up, Letta and Hornset. Dane, you do the invasion. You deal with them later in the game, and that's really it. Because if you remember, Dane doesn't actually speak.
It is what finds it.
So, Silent Monk and Hornset, we've already done all this.
Enough? Long ago, a cleanse, it's no one that aside, and in this, they were never saints. They just happened, but it's still a wretched. Oh, that he's been in the serve. He might be. There's no cause. Danes would look. We've been perhaps one day.
So Mikla, for people that don't know much about the game, they've enjoyed the gameplay, haven't gotten into the story. Mikla and Saint Trina are the same person. This is his alter ego, which actually has a physical presence. But their power is sleep, and more importantly, mind control. So every one of our NPCs are under Mikla's mind control. Some of them are going to be the same, you know, but they don't have their own free will. So like Letta seems very loyal to Mikla, and she still is once the Great Rune breaks. But others get their free will back, and you know they're going to go on their own missions. So with Letta, she wants to know who's going to be loyal to Mikla and who isn't, and whoever isn't, she wants to put down. And that's where their quests pick up. But until you break the Great Rune, there's nothing we can do. So that's what we're going to do right now. Go get you guys. I have to check my notes. I'm pretty sure it's the last bell bearing, or second to last, and then we are going to get the last forge or cookbook. So with that, if we can fit it in this episode, we'll actually be going ahead and closing out Moore's quest line. And as always, there's always two ways quests can go. So what I'm going to do is just give you guys complete freedom. I'm going to make my choice, you make yours. I'll let you know how it goes both ways. Like Moore's quest line, you can end it early or let it play out the whole way. Both ways you get all his rewards. The way we're going to do it gets you his rewards earlier, so you actually have time to use his armor and his great shield. Otherwise, you could wait and he'll be in this. Like all the NPCs are going to battle each other at the end, and he'll be there if he does quest along the way. But there's still all the other ones there, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so it's just choices being made, guys. If I realized the side of Grace was so close, we would have stopped. All right, so like I said, as soon as we hit this tree line, Great Rune is going to break. So you guys can see what that looks like. Peek. There you go. Now, before we go on, the only really thing over here is a bunch of wolves and an invisible scarab. I call these guys jumpers. If you follow along with the walkthrough, you guys, you know that. But anyone that's just following along with like the DLC walkthrough, I call them jumpers because when you get close, that's what they do. They jump away. But everyone else, you guys are gonna know what I'm talking about. So 700 without the guard counter. 2,400 damage with the guard counter. You see what I'm saying? So it's just good. Even if you aren't getting the guard counter off, you can kind of just use it as a ranged option to get some damage on enemies. It's doing like 700. So bam, it almost one shot. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? So it's just really good for a lot of reasons. Come on, fellas. We're probably going to have to chase the scarab a bit, so that's why I'm taking the time and putting these fuckers down. The mana cost is pretty low as well, so. Alright. Just overlook, make sure I haven't missed anything in my notes, which I highly doubt. I'm pretty sure it's just wolves. And then up here in the top part of the woods. Oh, that shield's actually kind of perfect for what we're doing with this guy, isn't it? I almost took him down one go. Now we gotta find him. I hear him. There he is. Yep. So you got Ashen Board, Raging Beast. That's for one of your new weapon types, Beast Claws, as you guys well know. And now you can just kind of go around and check out items. But what we're gonna have to do is fight another big old asshole furnace gold. Like over here in the top right, you're gonna see some wolves. But it's really just nothing here, guys. This is an introduction area, transitional zone, similar to how Bonny Village was for leading us here. And make sure you got at least 6 pots on. I do believe it only takes 5, but 6 just in case, because like we'll get scalings off of decks for our pots. But if you're doing like pure ant, you might not. So 6 to be safe. Now you can tell the difference between the two because this guy's legs are armored, right? So that lets you know you can't really do any damage. Now unfortunately, this mound we land on, he doesn't bullshit attack. We don't have the same running space as we did before. And Char's hitting great. So you gotta do your best to kind of juke around. We all know, too, that he loves to spam. He's gonna jump and smack us. Oh, God, the one shot was not expected. We about killed him, too, because as soon as he landed, we could have spammed our pots. But that's the thing, you're trying to survive until you find the right time. And that's really the hardest thing about it. Alright, not a big deal. Not a big deal. We'll get them. These guys are always very tedious. In fact, I mean, I have a lot of patience doing walkthroughs, even though we're doing Souls-likes, and they can be very challenging and frustrating. I try to keep patience, because I know no one wants to hear anyone rage. But we fought one of these guys on the way to Cerulean Coast. It actually got me pretty pissed off. He got me, I mean, he's just spamming specials and everything else. These guys, I don't think they're that bad. It's just you got to survive long enough to get set up to get your damage off. So, I mean, he might kill you a couple times. I don't think it's as frustrating, in my opinion. Like, when you're trying to whack on his leg and he's stomping, double stomp, spamming fireballs, trying to grab it, it's really tedious. And like I said, we've already done it once. It just gets very repetitive, and it's a long fight. Every time you fight, it takes fucking 15 minutes. So, I like this because they actually made the fight different. Still high chance of death, but at least it's different. I can appreciate that. What are you doing? Turn on the lamp? Then jump into your death? What am I doing, guys? It's alright, we'll get him. I keep saying that. It's true. It is true. You guys are in for a treat. I said a few episodes back, like when you get to the Skadu Altus, the DLC really starts to open up and get much more interesting. But this is like kind of one of them places too, because once you, get to where we are, we're about to, like right after this episode, it's all optional content until it's done. We're knocking out all optional content before Shadow Keep, because that pushes you towards the end. And we do. We get to some pretty cool stuff, especially areas. Like we get to some cool ass areas you guys are really going to enjoy. Really going to enjoy. Especially first play. It's really nice. So, I mean, this is a big important episode. We're breaking great runes and triggering events. Yeah, once it's tightened up, we got a lot of good stuff to get into. I'm pretty excited about it. Now, he is not close enough. If he goes for his fire bombs, we're in trouble here. We're going to have to get on Torrent and run away. What? Yeah, that shit ain't helping either. The fucking gesture. It's so bad in like Bloodborne too. You guys ever played Bloodborne? Like it's... Wow, we killed him with one? Our damage must be high as shit. We killed him with one fire pot? Wow. Why though? Oh, that's how you do it, guys. Wasn't the cleanest run, but usually it takes 5. That first one probably counted. Well, and if you notice, I could have missed his top. So when you get a critical, you're fighting him on like on foot, and you finally drop him and go for that critical. If you notice, if you just wail on his face, he's very susceptible to damage there. And you're doing monstrous damage compared to whacking on his legs. So maybe that fire pot hit him dead in the face. That could be it. I've never seen that happen, but it did look like we're a bit short to get inside the top portion. So we may have smacked right in the face. If you guys could line that up. But even if not, you see how to put him down. So, you're going to be good regardless. Alright, so with him taken on out, We're gonna go up the main road. Now, on the left-hand side of your next bell bearing, you can hardly see it's right there. You know, I wonder if we can get it from here. That's a... You only got 50 foot of distance with the bow, but we did get that talisman a while ago to up the range a bit. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Did not realize that I was two-handing the wrong thing. Yeah, it's so far away. Yeah, that's why I get trying to take the easy way out. Well, we're equipped for it. Doesn't really matter. We just have to get a little bit closer. Alright, so as we go up the main road, you're going to see your next puzzle tower, which is the first of the DLC. Would advise killing these guys out. We got to sit up top and, you know, use a bow to take a shot, so... Come on. We got shit. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. These little fuckers will run through our resources. Damn, if I remember it being that close. I don't really think we need the bow, but you know what? We got it. Now the main thing here, guys, is you've got to not drop where you are. It doesn't look that far. Like right here, like, oh, dude, we've dropped way farther than that. It will kill you. It's really touchy. Like, even right here, it's just a lot farther than what it looks. So I've done it where, like, where we just were, where it looked fine, I've done it, and it's killed me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So this is really good. This is for crafting your new greases. So you're going to be able to get, you know, infinite amounts of what's it called? Not root resin, not resin. So infinite amount of not resin, you'll be able to craft as many, you know, like mesmer fire grease, royal magic grease, much buffs as you want. Given that you have the other materials such as mushrooms, you know, things of that nature. All right, so now that we got that, we're gonna be going on up. Where are you? Yep, right uphill. We're gonna be going over here to the right hand side. There should be a side of grace like right up our ass. Yep, right here. Alright, so you have two options here. You're going to need to solve this puzzle kind of like the one in Caleb where you jump up to the top, but the rocks are here. And you're like, well, how the fuck am I going to find them, right? Because sometimes they're hard to find. Well, they're nowhere outside. It's actually pretty tricky. So what you're going to do is use Margit Shackle or Moog Shackle, or to find them the right way, you simply go inside, smack an illusionary wall. But that's the thing. If you don't know where the wall is, it might fuck you up. Because typically the rock's like outside somewhere, so it took me a while to catch it, dude. It's right here, but it took me a fucking while to catch it. I was running around forever, bro. I just did not see it, you know, I just could not see it. But either way, once you got that, as always, go right to our spirit spring. I love it when they just hide something right in your fucking face, you know, because that is creative. Putting it not only inside, but also beyond illusionary wall. You got something badass. I think you do need intelligence, but maybe not. It's like the cannon from the first game, but does magic damage. Oh no, no requirement. Holy shit. Oh no, it's got 28 strength required, no scaling. 28 strength, 16 dex, so quality or strength. So 135 physical, plus no scaling, and then magic at base of 135. So that's unupgraded, but yeah. So instead of firing ballistas that just purely do physical damage, you're gonna get magic and physical. Which, that split scaling sometimes can work against you, yes, but sometimes it gets you much more damage as well. Like, Sword Knight Flame, that's, people think that's great, it's doing magic, it's doing fire, it's doing physical, yeah, but that's taken away from the overall AR. especially when enemies have resistances to magic or to fire. So you might be losing a lot of that damage. So sometimes, weapons like that's not the best, but a weapon like that, which is 2, I think that's pretty good. More than anything else, it's pretty decent. Either way, guys, from here, now that we got this wrapped up, what we're going to be doing is just taking the main road down and meeting an NPC and getting inside of Grace. So we can start this guy's quest line, but I'm probably not going to do it at all. So we can put it, all in the same episode. But essentially what you got to do for his quest is find the 3 finger ruins. One, as you know, is right here. The others is in the hinterlands, so you can't do that until Shadowkeep's done, right? So we got to wait on that. And then the third is underground. It's actually under an underground area under this place. But after that, then you have 2 invasions and then a hidden boss. So a lot of cool stuff, but it makes the most sense to do it all at the same time. So until we progress through the Shadowkeep and have access to the hinterlands, we're not going to do it. For the most part, like right before Ruins of Ra, we'll probably knock that quest out all at the same time. But it's right here, so we're going to go ahead and get our side of Grace. Meet the NPC as he does have a few spells, and just kind of clear the area. So the first thing we're going to be doing, going down... I mean, you know what? Let's go and get our larval tier first. It's so easy to forget about this. I got it wrote down, but there's so much shit on my page for notes for this episode that we might forget it. So we're going to start off by doing a little bit what's backwards as far as my notes, because I was going to do this last, but let's get it over and done with. So if you just ignore this path and go up this way, eventually it'll bring you on into Shadowkeep. That's what we'll be doing, next episode. But instead, we're gonna go around and go uphill over here to get your last Forge of Brood cookbook, and then the larval tier will kind of just be off to the side. So just go up straight to the left, like you're about to take that main path, and then just keep going straight. You can't miss your larval tier. There you go. From there, we're just going to turn to the right just a bit. Now, going up here will be a small graveyard with the glowwort. I forget which one. I want to say it's like a regular glowwort 8, maybe 9, maybe actually a 9. But the more important thing is the Forge of Brood cookbook for Moore's questline. I'm going to go up to the right. Glowwort. Oh, it's a 6. My bad. 6. Not a big deal. I don't really keep track of those. I'll write glowwort, but as far as which one, like we have so many, I don't care to get too specific about it. Remember, do not hit him, especially being he's the last one. Now, with that being said, since he's the last one, just to cover, one's over here at Raw Base. If you have not followed the walkthrough, you might not have this, because we just went ahead and got all the maps we could, and while we're here, since I wanted to wrap up the Moore's quest, I went ahead and grabbed it. And then the other that's harder to find is over here by Cerulean Coast. So, with that, we have 1 through 7. Then 7 you could only get by doing Moore's quests and helping and healing one of the Forge of Brood, then going back and talking to them. So if you don't know these things, there's 3 cookbooks that are pretty easily missed, in my opinion. Where are you? Did I pass it or some shit? It's not recent, it's key. So at the very bottom. So checking it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you should have all of them at this point. Now looking at our time, we only got 10 minutes. I guess we'll wait off on Moore's quest line. I'll do it next episode at the start. So next episode, as I said, we're going to do Shadowkeep, but it's just this little section. It is separate from the main castle. It connects, but it's separate. So we will go ahead and wrap this on up in full. And then after that, it's all of our side content, and then, we'll be moving in here. But like I said, this is kind of separate, so I'm going to go ahead and knock it out. So either way, for what we're doing this episode, back to Church District Hyrule. And this is actually pretty easy. We're going to go up the far right-hand side. It's a lower portion of this zone with a tiny cave to get you guys a very powerful Ash of War. Then we're just going to circle the building. That's it. Circle the building, grab a few items. Can't really miss anything that way. Just a lot tucked in these areas, just a lot. We showed off the armor. If you guys like it, go with it. It's, I don't know, a little dark for my tasting. And maybe the top part looks cool. Maybe it's this I don't like. Regardless, I would like to switch this out. Look at that. Goofy as shit. Yeah, maybe the top is the problem. I wasn't sure. Where's ours? As simplistic as it is, it's a nice clean look. The helm's not so bad, Different. I don't think it's as clean as it could look. Like, that's how I like mixing shit up. We'll go with that. And I even like to put on something like Fire Monks or Blibes. I think it's got a nice look to it. And then, my favorite leggings in the game. There's still medium. Yeah, but look how good that looks. That's what I tell people. Blend your sets. That's how you get the best looking sets. You know what I mean? Best looking sets. Alright guys, so going down the main road, getting back on the task at hand. Like I said, just start taking the main road up, but what we're going to do is branch off to the right hand side. Now this is like your one of the many mage areas in the DLC. It's one of them. This guy that we're going to meet does sell a lot of spells, but if you did all the content in the base game, you should already have most of them. So if you stick to the far right, there's a spell that Ravana was using. It's like an upgraded form of carrying grandeur. So you summon that big magic sword, do that overhead slam down. Then after that, she did the wide swipe, right? And it didn't have the follow-up in the base game. Well, now you can actually get that. So that's two very, very damaging hits. And I think the second one does even extra damage than the first one did. I would recommend a bow for what we're about to do. We'll go ahead and clear these guys real quick. One take, Jakes. There's a lot of them. God, is there enough of you fuckers? Come on. As soon as I go swing my sword, I know you're gonna come for me. So what we're doing now, I will say this is like super fucking easy to miss. And as mentioned, I would recommend a bow. So you're gonna find a little cave over here. It's kind of scary here, but you won't really see it if you aren't really paying attention. And the reason being is actually on the roof. And it's hard to aim. To be honest, like even with the bow, it's gonna be tricky to aim. I feel like we'll do our best. It's tucked right there. Yeah, like I said, it's super fucking tricky to hit him. You gotta really get your position good. Yeah, we try going. I always have trouble with it. Sometimes you get lucky. You see what I'm saying? Like right there, you just don't have the space. Let's try to get in the far back corner. There's a spot. Okay, usually I can get it right out the door, though. I will say that. Usually I can get it out the door. And there you go. Active ward carrying sovereignty. So very, very powerful active ward with the, pure intelligence or melee mage or whatever you got. As long as you got intelligence, it's gonna slap like a truck. Alright, so one last thing to do is just go up top and kind of circle the perimeter. Now, we'll go over here and start going over this guy's dialogue, but you got to keep in mind, we're not going to do his quest until after Shadowkeep, because there's no point of starting at one episode and jumping back to it another. People are going to be lost. It's a higher chance that someone missed a step somewhere, so we're just going to ignore it altogether. And probably make a whole episode of it. It takes quite a bit. We might do like Jagged Peak and that together, so we could fill up the whole hour, but yeah, it's gonna need its own episode. Like I said, there's 3 finger runes you have to do. Honestly, it might just go in the Hinterlands episode, just put it all together. I still have those notes in front of me, but we'll make it make sense. I'll put it that way. So going to the left, we have Starlight Shards. It's gonna be further up. There's gonna be a few of these guys. Remember how they love to wig out on you, so be cautious. There it is. Greater Potentate's Cookbook. Yep, there's Starlight. Then the only other thing of actual note is actually going to be a consumable. It's kind of like the consumables in the main game, which gave like physical builds access to magic, like your Gravity Stone chunks. You know, just a consumable you can throw out for magic damage. It's something like that, but it's just really lackluster in my opinion. So as you go all the way down right here, it's pretty neat. It's where you duplicate boss remembrances in the DLC. So you could duplicate anyone, whether it be from the base game, DLC, doesn't matter. They're all right here. Like how I wanted the other weapon from the main boss, the hammer. I could just, come here. So there's not going to be many duplications. If memory serves, there's 3 off the top of my head. 3. That's it, It's not a shit ton of remember bosses in the DLC anyways, but there is like 5. So you won't be able to get them all. So all we're going to do is backtrack to the stairs, and the only other item, you just go up, go to the left, follow this around, and yeah, they'll get on you if you ain't careful. Now, I usually overlook this item so much too. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's easy just to run right past it. But that's it, Drinking Nail. It's a magic consumable. Like I said, really, it's just one of those things that gives physical builds access to magic in the form of a consumable. You know, you throw it out. It's kind of like a glintstone pebble type deal. It's really not that great, but it's here, so we'll talk about it. Either way, guys, with that, you have made it full circle. Now, when you go in here, your NPC is going to be right there in that chair. And then you're going to open up the shortcut. So if you went in the front door, you can get the side of grace. Oh, no, I'm backwards. Nope. Okay, we were supposed to go in the front door. For whatever reason, I put this. So I may have done it backwards in my notes. Okay, so you got to go in the front door. What I was trying to say is, if you take the wrong way, which I did, but if you take the wrong way, you can like get to the NPC, but you can't get to the side of grace. So if you go the other way, you can get to both. But I thought we couldn't get our grace if we went in the front door. So it's okay. We make mistakes sometimes. Not big ones, but we make them. Alright, so going in the front door gets you the side of grace and allows you to open up the door forward. For whatever reason, I had it backwards. Now, we're not going to do anything else here, guys, because I don't have the time. So what we'll do is we'll start next episode. We'll go ahead and run through his dialogue. Ymir, I think his name is. Really, really weird name. Hope I'm not saying it wrong. But yeah, we'll go through his dialogue. Technically start his quest, just not go to the locations just yet. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and close out Moore's quest line over here now that we have broken the Great Room. Then we're going to just actually catch up all of our NPC's quests. We're going to go talk to all of them, just get all that buttoned up. Then we'll be working our way on over here to this portion of the Shadow Keep, knocking this out. That way, moving forward, we could just start, knocking this shit out. So, Sterling Coast will be knocked out. Then we jump on over here, knock out Raw's base. So that will be done. Then the only other optional content will be the Finger Ruins, which we have to wait. Jagged Peak, we have to wait for the painting. And then obviously we'll have the Madness, which you still have to go through Shadow Keep there. So really, it's just 2 areas we could do: Cerulean Coast and Raw Base. But that will be the plan moving forward after this little section of Shadow Keep. So everyone knows the plan. There you go. Either way, y'all stay tuned, and we will catch y'all back here shortly.